Welcome back to Headliners. Let's do another roundup of the front pages. The Times: Ukraine launches British missiles deep into Russia. The Daily Telegraph goes with defence cuts as UK missiles hit Russia. The Guardian also says Ukraine attacks targets in Russia with UK missiles for the first time. Daily Mail: up to 12 British Storm Shadows fired into Russia. The Sun goes with the headline All for One on a different story. Daily Star: Armageddon a nuclear bunker. Right, let's crack on to the content again. Nick, The Guardian. MPs want to question Elon Musk. They imprison people for tweets. Imagine what they'll do to the guy who owns it.
Yes, great point. I love the headline. MPs to summon Elon Musk to testify about X's role in UK summer riots. Yeah, you summon the richest man in the world who owns the most influential political media platform, who's best mates with the leader of the free world. You totes summon that guy. I mean, it's so absurd on the face of it. And they say, yeah, they want the opportunity to cross-examine Musk. Yeah, lol, good luck with that. But they're saying it appears unlikely that Musk will appear. Of course it's unlikely. I mean, the disinformation seemed to come largely from other countries. It didn't come from the United States. It didn't come from Elon Musk. It seems like it came from outside countries interfering.
And also, the more we learn, the more we find out a lot of it wasn't disinformation.
That's the real question. How much was suppressed by authorities? That's the question we're all asking. I don't know what we're allowed to say about it. That's the question, not did Elon Musk do a bad tweet. And why is it some people, mentioning no names, Nick Lowles, get away with with shocking tweets? It depends. It seems to be a little bit two-tier. Would that be the word, two-tier? It's a phrase I've invented. I'm trying it out.
Surely all of the things he'd say he'd say all those things actually in the committee. This is a good reason to get Elon to turn up. You know, he can fight the side of the argument.
That's actually a good point, but the way they phrase it as summoning is clearly, you know, a sort of flex to say, and you see the EU doing this, you know, saying we're more powerful than you. The trouble is they're doing that with their own citizens. They're saying to their own citizens, we're more powerful than you. The way, you know, Keir Starmer is threatening to lock people up, the way people are getting locked up. Look at Alison Pearson, visited for a year-old tweet. They set up a gold group, you know, a high risk, you know, major incident group to deal with this year-old tweet. I mean, do you really think Alison Pearson is going to leap from her balcony armed with a samurai sword and some ricin? It's absolutely ridiculous.
Have you ever tried to write a column on a regular basis? You run out of ideas. You do stuff just thinking, I got to do 800 words on this.
Yeah,
so maybe she will.
Don't underestimate Alison's sword skills. That's what I'm saying.
And also a lot of this stuff. I mean, Elon has come under flack from our government for saying civil war is inevitable in Britain. You know, as if that was inflaming the situation. That wasn't inflaming the situation. That was an accurate reading of the situation and where we're heading with all the demographic changes and governmental changes as well. And really, the government just has itself to blame for the Southport riots. The government spread misinformation. There's rumours that the criminal justice system was being advised and, you know, having their arms twisted by the government, which is absolutely sinister and evil. You know, if Starmer had come out and said, look, I understand people are upset, instead of calling them all far-right thuggery, you know, and also, you know...
His impression's better, to be fair.
And every mosque in the UK has Qurans, shares Qurans which contain statements like, you know, kill the unbelievers. So how is that not being prosecuted as, you know, incitement or hate speech? I just don't understand.
And just lastly, aren't they worried about getting Elon Musk in, given how his BBC interview went? Remember that one when he made the guy look ridiculous? Like, you just lied. Do you remember that? That's what he'll say to him. Yeah. He'll just turn the tables. That's what he does.
He's very smart.
A bit busy though, like running 5 big companies and also now.
Yeah, isn't it amazing he does that while being dumb? Have you noticed how the left will call him stupid? It's incredible.
But it's incredibly reassuring as a citizen of an increasingly communist country that America, Elon Musk, Donald Trump are using their political levers to try and enforce free speech in Europe and in the UK. So they're threatening, you know, they're saying we'll pull out of NATO if you don't take the boot off the throat of your citizens.
Hopefully they'll invade us like Putin.
Yeah.
Nick, Thursday's Telegraph: Jaguar is rebranding away from a male audience. What? It's like metformin moving away from people who like cake.
Yeah, this is shocking. Backlash as diversity activist champions controversial Jaguar rebrand. So this advert's been trending. I've written an article about it on nickdixon.net, and it's an absurd advert from Jaguar. They've changed the logo for a start from the iconic Jaguar to just some rubbish spaced out lettering, which is interesting. They've said that they've realised they're going to alienate essentially their traditional audience or a customer. They basically admitted that in the mail. Yeah. There's the advert. Absolutely. I mean, it's ridiculous. Have you not seen this? It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. And people have pointed out, including Elon Musk, there's no cars in it. which I could kind of live with. I don't mind a bit of oblique advertising, but this is typical woke advertising that makes we're all just sick of. And also, who buys cars? Men buy, or women, they buy a car, they look at the car, it looks cool, there's a cool guy or woman driving, and you go like, yeah, okay, I want to buy that car. There's no car in it. Jaguar are doubling down. It's woke capital, we all know about this. They haven't realised we're in the MAGA moment. Woke has ended. They haven't got the memo. They haven't seen the John Lewis ad. And they're just doubling down on this kind of weird approach where you're prepared to even lose money and sort of make yourself a woke martyr. Yeah. They described on Twitter, they replied to the thousands of negative comments. It had like 5,000 likes, 40,000 replies, just hating it. Yeah. And they said things like, oh, it's a pivotal moment. And they called it a declaration of intent. Yeah, the intent's to bankrupt the company.
Yeah, they've totally Bud Lighted themselves.
Yeah.
And, the Jaguars are sports cars that are exclusively bought by middle-aged white guys who are going through a midlife crisis.
Exactly.
And
they slightly posh guys with Barber Jackets.
Yeah, they want to impress their secretary or whatever, so they get a Jaguar. And it's like, but a Jaguar have been like, no, we've had enough of those people buying our cars. Let's go after the bald, transgender Somalian community. It's a smaller market. This is going to be a disaster for them. The adverts had 80 million views on Twitter, but 80 million views all from people who hate it. And they say, oh, we're championing diversity. Apart from being, it's all really cliched, it's really hack, it's stuff that's been done years and years ago and done much better. I mean, remember the Pirelli advert in the 90s was, a similar sort of theme, but done, it was kind of sexy and cool and genuinely kind of avant-garde. This is just so hack and so old-fashioned now. It's like the branding people are so out of date, they don't get where it is. If they'd have come out and done like John Lewis did, just done a traditional thing, like Top Gun Maverick, a traditional sort of, masculine thing with, cool guys driving cars, hot babes and stuff, they'd have sold loads of cars.
Can I just say on that, Leo, a guy in a few minutes did a better advert on Twitter. On AI, he took the original Jaguar logo, the good one, he had a hot girl in front of a cool car with a mansion in the background. He was like, boob. Last time I checked, that had 100,000 likes versus like 7,000 of the actual advert.
I love how they want to get rid of the little cat. You're called Jaguar. What do you think the word means? We don't have a picture of a Jaguar involved. We'll rebrand then.
Yeah, and also the rebrand just looked like the sort of cover of a PlayStation 1 game. Everything about it was old-fashioned. And they say, oh, we're championing diversity. But there's no real diversity. There's no, I bet there's no Brexit voters represented. You know what I mean? There's no Trump voters. There's only certain opinions allowed to be actually represented by these...
Jag drivers are represented.
That's the real problem.
All right, Leo, the Daily Mail and Barber, the company run by a woman, jackets worn by Meghan and Joe Biden, are right-wing now. This should be fun.
So this is the Daily Mail saying this. Woke Brigade claim Barber jackets are fast becoming a new overt symbol for the far right after thousands of farmers protested against Keir Starmer's tax grab in London. So loads of people at the farmers' protest were wearing Barber jackets. They're really popular with farmers and shooters. My dad wore them. He was a gunsmith. I used to wear them when I was shooting because they're waxed, they're waterproof, and they keep you cosy and warm, and they're much nicer than a Gore-Tex ski jacket, and they cost loads of money. My dad's ones didn't, but but yeah, this is the thing that this article is based on is two tweets, a couple of viral tweets on Twitter, or X as people call it now. One said the Barber jacket is fast becoming a new overt symbol for the far right, for the right, with another saying Barber jackets are clearly the new uniform for a new reign of terror. Now, looking at those accounts, I reckon those were right-wing accounts, sort of right-wing troll accounts. One of them's neo-Kemalist. So a Kemalist is basically the founder of the modern Turkey, Ataturk. It's somebody who follows his, so a secular sort of almost anti-Islam guy, a modernist, a civilizationist, and he's not a lefty at all. He's doing it for a joke. The other person is Drukpa Kunli, so that's I think it's a Buddhist monk from years ago, and that's another account that's posts very funny stuff, right, and it's right wing. So they just the Daily Mail got played. They didn't look at the accounts, and you could just scroll down and just see everything else these accounts post. They're mocking the woke left.
Any quick take on this, Nick?
Well, just that it's the French have the Gilets jaunes, and this is our cooler version of it. And it is kind of conservative coded, even though Leo's saying it only came from conservative accounts. It could become a kind of symbol of the farmers and their rebellion against Starmer's oppression.
It's a symbol of money is what they got confused about. It's people with those jackets also have a bit of money, and having money is not necessarily right-wing. Anyway, Nick, a quick take on this one. The Daily Mail, tweeting about a black man's look is now racist. Actually, maybe we should look at this one.
So this is Joey Barton, again, is accused of racism by fans after making a bizarre claim about Man United legend Patrice Evra. So I've watched the clip. So there's basically a clip of basically a young black man with an older white woman, and his joke is that it's Patrice Evra. The guy's got like sunglasses. His voice sounds a bit like Patrice Evra. Patrice Evra's known for kind of being a cool guy with a lot of charisma and kind of high energy. I think it's just a sort of slightly misguided joke. It doesn't really...
See it a bit now.
Oh, yeah. OK, there you go. I mean, he doesn't look amazingly like Evra, but his vibe was slightly like Evra's. I think it's just a misguided... Like quite a few of Joey Barton's jokes. It's a misguided joke. I don't think there's any particular malice in it. I think it's fairly meaningless.